Hello again, thanks for joining. So today I've got another Fleischmann steam locomotive to have a look at. It's a BR94 tank engine, as an 010, quite a big machine. And not only that, I've actually got two of them. This one here in my hand is a bit older than the other one behind it, but are they just exactly the same model and are there any differences? Well, we're going to find out today. So this one I think is the older of the two. It certainly looks as though the box is a bit older, and it has the number 4094. The other one, which I think is newer, this is 4093. And we'll start off by having a look at this one, I think. So this has come with a leaflet which gives a little bit of history of this locomotive, and it has it in different languages. And we also have some service information here about how to lubricate the model and keep it running really good. And some handy hints on how to keep your track in good condition too. And you can see, as usual, we have the Fleischmann little stud underneath which operates other items on your layout. It's not actually 3-rail, it's a 2-rail model. And here is the model, and straight away it really impresses. I'm a big fan of old Fleischmann stuff, and I think they packed in a lot of detail and really good quality, as well as matching robustness with that. And these models seem to last the test of time. This one looks in absolutely fantastic condition. It even looks as though it's possibly never been run. So starting off at the front, it looks as though we have some lighting here, and we have these little markers, although this one has actually got a bit of a bend in it. Let me just see if I can straighten that up. There we go. So look at the amount of detail on here. The smoke box door has got loads of lovely brackets. The number is very clear, 94956. And we have rivet detail on the buffer beam, and then the buffers are extra pieces that have been pushed into it. The big Fleischmann coupling hanging out the front, which has some movement left and right. And as we start to look down the side, you can really see the detail here. The pistons have a fantastic level of little extras added onto the moulding, all the rivet detail and brackets. We've got some steps down here, which is on the chassis. This is made of metal, but the body is made of plastic, and you can see the rivet details here on the side, as well as the chimney, which is very well defined. We've got a bell here, which is part of the plastic moulding. And this box here, which I think is a sanding box, and the pipework is moulded into the main boiler. However, we do have this extra piece here with all this delicate pipework up across the top of the boiler, and another tank here beside this dome. And even back here, we've got another little box and the whistles. So there is an incredible amount of detail up on top of there. And also I like how you can see straight through underneath the boiler at this point here. The side of the tank here has some rivet detail and some very small printing down here, as well as on the cab and also back here. It's so small it's very difficult to see with the naked eye, but it is really nice that it's been done. And inside you can maybe spot that we have some details on the back of the boiler. Now this is a tank engine, so it's very difficult to see that, but it's great that it's been added in here. And also we have flush fit glazing on the side of the window there, and also on the front windows. Here we have some steps coming down and even more rivet detail and lovely bracket detail on the box here. And as we move it to the back of the locomotive, it looks as though again we have lighting, a number in the middle, and the buffers are again extra pieces added into the chassis. We've got the Fleischmann coupling again, and a couple of tanks underneath which are part of the metal chassis. A fair representation of coal up here in the bunker, and we've got some indication of wood as well at the side here. Up on the top, we've got some rivet detail on the roof, little studs as well, which could easily be knocked off. You're going to have to be very careful with this model. And we've got some gutters as well. It does look really good. There's no moulding marks or anything up here. And looking across the top of the boiler, it does look really good as well. There's a little bit of a moulding mark on top of the smoke box here, but overall it's really well done. Look at the amount of rivet detail down here. It's really very, very good. This side of the locomotive does have some additional pipework in plastic moulded in here in red. But then as we move down to the chassis area, you can see the brake gear, and the wheels are really delicate as well, really nicely painted. Brake gear very close to the wheels, and very fine valve gear all the way along here, all done in metal, and the chassis is metal like I said. Underneath we've got a plastic plate holding the wheels in, which is screwed on. You can see Fleischmann made in Germany, and the accessory stud here as well. So this is a really incredibly detailed model, very nice. I wonder how good it's going to run. I'll give it a shot in a minute, but for now let's have a look at the other one. So this is 4094, exactly the same leaflet as we've just seen. And what a shame with this one, we've got a very small piece that's broken off somewhere. I think it might be from the step at the front here. And also one of the buffers has been broken off as well and completely missing. So that's a bit of a shame. I think that probably happened en route to me. But looking at the front, we have a very similar setup. It's a different number, of course. We've got 941730 on this model, and there are some very subtle differences, like this part up here, which isn't on the other model, and the chimney is slightly different as well. We also have a different setup on the roof here. We've got a lot more rivets, and it's a slightly different profile on the side. I think these were meant to be vents or windows. And of course there's a few differences on the side here with what's been printed on it. And we've got this plate here, I think it's a shed plate, but that's there on this one, but it wasn't on the other. Looking at the back of the locomotive, the bunker is slightly different as well. We have this angled top part, which the other one had wood effect, and we've got an extra lamp at the top there as well on this that the other locomotive didn't. So there are some very small differences in the model, but essentially it's very similar, and it looks to be a very similar type of quality as well. It is a shame that this has had a bit of a bash. I'm quite upset about that because these locomotives do look really good, but hopefully it'll still run okay. So let's put them onto the track and see what happens. Okay, I've got 4093 on the track here. Again, this is just Hornby third radius track, and I'm using my H&M controller on 12 volts DC to give it some power. Just a reminder, this is the one with no damage. So let's see what happens when we turn the power on. Well, it needed a bit of a push to get going, but once it did, it was no problems at all. Quite a quiet motor as well. All the lights work. They're quite dim, but when you put full power on, you can see that they do actually work. They're not directional though, so it's a bit of a crude lighting system. But the good news is it runs, and it runs on third radius track. So let's give the other one, the one with a bit of damage, let's see if that one works as well. Well, not so good. I think it might just need a little bit of oil, so let me do that and then I'll put it back on the track and give it another go. Well, that seems to have done the trick. It seems to run fine now, which is great. So they're both going to weigh probably exactly the same. Well, maybe this one with the damage a little bit less. So I'll put the other one onto the scales and we can see how much that weighs. So this model weighs 353 grams. So these two BR94 locomotives from Fleischmann I think are absolutely fantastic. One of them is modelled on a Deutsche Reichsbahn version. The other, with the damage, unfortunately, is a Deutsche Bundesbahn version of it with the 3 lights. I did notice that the lights on the back of that locomotive don't illuminate when it was on the track. Now that could be because the light bulb is blown or it just didn't have lighting in the back of it. I suspect it's probably a light bulb issue, but these are quite old models now. But yet you wouldn't think it looking at them. The amount of detail on them is absolutely fantastic. The finish is really good as well. The printing is really clear and there's so much detail on them. It really makes for a very pleasing model. I'm quite sad about the one with the damage because I don't know how to fix that at the moment. Very difficult to get spare parts for these, and it might be a case that I just need to source one that's broken and swap out the chassis or something like that. So it's one to ponder over. But overall, as usual and as I would have expected from Fleischmann, these are fantastic models which I'd absolutely recommend. They still run on modern track. You saw that was third radius Hornby stuff there, and yet these being 010s had no problem negotiating around those curves. It's very rare that I'm disappointed with the old Fleischmann stuff, and I think these are up to the usual standard, and I would definitely recommend you add these to your collection if you're modelling this kind of era of steam locomotives from Germany. But what do you think about these models? Let me know in the comments below. Really interested to hear what your thoughts are, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. And I'll put the undamaged one, the Deutsche Reichsbahn one, onto the turntable so you can see all the way around. In a moment, another video will appear, so just click on that and I'll see you there. But But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. See ya.
So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny worlds, choo choo. So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny worlds, choo choo.